I'm going to share with you now what I like to call a Photoshop cheap trick. By cheap trick, I mean something that you can do in Photoshop that looks impressive but is insanely easy to do. In this case, we have a picture of quintuplets. Actually, all just my nephew, repeated 4 times, and goofing off on the couch. At first glance, it's fairly seamless, and you'd think that it took a long time to get something like this. A lot of matting going on, a lot of very careful cloning. But in actuality, it was far easier to do than that. What I did was I took 4 pictures of my nephew. The key to this is to use a tripod and tighten it down so that the camera remains motionless when you take the picture. The more motionless you can make it, the better. And fix the camera on a fixed focus so that the camera doesn't move and the focus doesn't change. Ideally, you want to use a manual focus for this if your camera is capable of it. And here I set the camera to focus on the corner of the couch. Then pose each of your shots and avoid overlapping of anything that changes between shots. So here's my second shot. And I am going to make a big selection, taking a lot of more area than what I need to, and drag that over. And line it up as best you can. Now, there's some overlap here, and because my nephew was sitting here, he's blocking some of the light from the window that came in through the other shot, so the floor is darker in this spot. So what I do is I use the eraser tool, and I set my brush to be really large, 100 pixels or so. And I set the hardness to be nothing. What this gives me is a very big soft brush that blends what I erase. And so I can come down here and erase this. And it's matching the background. Since the changes are happening between the image, they're happening gradually, very imperceptibly to the eye, unless you really know what you're looking for and you're looking hard. I'll do the same with my other pictures. Make the selection, drag it over, line it up, the more you can prevent changes between the 2 shots, the better results you'll have. But if you can't, it's okay. There's still some give here. Here we see again my nephew is absorbing the light on the couch, and the shadows aren't quite lined up where they were before. That's okay. I get my brush again. I paint out. And here I'm not even trying to get things precisely close to my nephew. I could spend hours isolating him from the couch and doing it that way and have it be perfect. But in this case, good enough is good enough. For example, if I were doing something for high resolution printing, this trick would be of limited value because you can see a lot more of the mistakes. For something on screen, though, where you're using about 1/4 of the resolution at best of what printing would be, this works fine. And lastly, line it up, and I'm using my arrow keys again to line it up as close as I can, and get my eraser tool and get in there, and there you have it.